welcome. I haven't seen you or been with you for a month. I've been very thankful to be in warmer weather, but I'm back in New York and happy to be with you. Today I'm going to be using the Flowers Fair. It's one stamp set, which I'll show you how we're going to use it. And the Banner Saints with the banner punch. This is the punch that goes with it in the bundle. And then I'm also using 2 of the circles from the Stylish Shapes dies. So welcome those of you that are here. I'm so excited to be crafting with you again. So here's what we need. This is relatively simple. I am saying a sad goodbye to some of the in colors that are leaving this year. So if you like the 2024 to 2026 in colors, which is Peach Pie, Shy Shamrock, Petunia Pop, Summer Splash, and Pretty in Pink, you should get them now because they usually do sell out. So those are fun. This is 5.5 by 8.5 scored at 4 1/4. Oh, come on, here we go. I did cut it correctly, I think. Make sure I got a scrap that's just, I'm going to even it up just a little bit on my paper trimmer here. I see I didn't get it as even as I should have. There. Sometimes just that much makes a huge difference. Okay, now that looks better. I am also going to use my bone folder. If you don't have one, you really need one. They're so helpful, especially for this card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this 2 different times. The first time I'm going to use the Peach Pie. You notice it's such a large stamp. I turned it over and I'm inking the top of it. Coming back. And sometimes, just to make sure I'm getting a flat surface, I'm going to get this as close to the crease as I can. And I'm going to just push. I will have something at my class, and I think I packed it up, that can help you push this to make sure you get a good ink on it. So I'm just coming around, making sure, and it's good. Now, there's a little bit that didn't ink. The great news is that part will be covered up, so I'm not going to worry about it. If it was down on the edge, I might re-ink it. I'm going to go ahead and clean this because I'm going to use it again. So this is going to be a card I'm going to feature at a bakery class that I have. So it's kind of nice to be using, here it is March. I'm getting tired of winter stuff. So we're using some nicer, springy colors now. I'm done with winter in my mind anyway. So I'm going to stamp this twice. The first time I'm going to stamp it on the smaller, and I really don't need to ink that much up of it because it's not that big, but I want this one flower, and it doesn't look like I got it really good. Can you see that there's some ink that didn't look like it really took? So make sure it's inked well. And I'm going to come back and ink that, pushing it down. So I get a cute little ink there. Then I'm going to not worry about cleaning it, but I am going to clean my glass mat just so I don't get other stuff on it. And I'm going to move this over, not where I had it wet. And I'm going to do it again. I don't want too much because you don't want to be coloring for a long time. Last time I think I did it a little bit too high. So I'm going to put it down a lot smaller so I'm not getting a ton of the flowers on there. but just some, so it is fun to color. I'm going to go ahead and clean this off with my chamois. If you don't have a chamois, this is a must-have, if you ask me. I mean, I use mine all the time. If you watch my videos, constant. Then we're going to get all the stamping done. I have a little scrap of the peach pie. In this set, banner sayings, you have all sorts of sayings that will all fit. I need some thank you notes, so I'm putting thanks a million. And I'm just stamping it in the middle. I don't need a lot. And I'm going to take my punch. And I decided I like it with a little, you notice I'm doing it to the side. I like it with a little gem on the edge there. There we go. You get a little extra goodies. And so all the stamping for this card is now finished. Now I'm going to use my blends. If you know me, I love blends. They're my favorite to color. Can you use we have wonderful pencils. We have all sorts of great things. For some reason, my blends are my favorite. But I'm going to show you a quick way to color. Because a lot of people are like, sometimes I come to my classes and they take a lot of time. And I want to show you, you don't need to. So you're going to just add, I've got dark peach pie. You notice I'm using the small end. I'm coloring I'm going to call it the bud with the dark peach pie, but everything else, I'm just kind of going those lines. I'll say this might be peach pie too. I don't know what it is, and neither will anybody else. And I'll give that a little dark peach pie. Okay, I'm going to do just a little bit. I'm going to do it on both of them. Dark peach pie. I'm going to do it. And if it's not perfect, don't worry. These are blending brushes, so they blend it together perfectly. I'm not timing myself, but I'm trying to go quickly to show you, you don't have to, some people don't like coloring. You don't have to stress on the coloring. That's what I love about Stampin' Up! Because they really give you great ideas on how to do it. I just follow the lines they've already given me. All right, I'm done with the dark peach pie. Now I'm going to use the light peach pie, and I'm going to use the bigger end, and I'm going to come around, and I'm just doing the outline. That's how I like to do it. Is there a right or wrong reason? No, there isn't. And then I kind of circle it. That's blending it together. Also, if there's a little bit of white left, that's okay. That's an artful look. Doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, if you ever go on some of the art you see, sometimes they aren't colored completely in. There's a little bit of a white. See how quickly this is going? I'm not stressing. I'm just kind of coloring it in. I'm gentle on the tips of the blending brushes, though, or the blending pens. Our blends are not, you're not supposed to be pushing really hard on the tips. So I'm going very quickly, but now I've got, and you can see a little depth in the flower. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the dark shamrock. I'm going to add a little bit on where the leaves are. I'm going to add a stem there. And then I'm done with that one. Now I'm going to the light shy shamrock. And I'm still using the small end. Last time I tried to use the big end, and I kind of went out of the lines. It was okay, but I have better luck when I'm doing things like leaves to just use the smaller end instead of the bigger end. But it's not a... I will also have other colors out in case you don't like the colors I chose, which is always a possibility. dark petunia. Oops, I forgot to do the green over here. Oops, sorry about that. I'll quickly do the green. There's not much with that. I didn't do the light peach over here either. Now, this stamp is a full stamp, and you could stamp it and color the whole thing. I chose not to because this is going to be for one of my classes. And with lots of people coloring, it takes a long time. I am going to have other color choices for them just in case, because they may want different ones, you know, because just doing a lot of coloring is time consuming. See, I went out of the line, and that's okay because I just kind of made it look like it was supposed to. If you send your card to someone and you've got a little bit out of the line, I bet they're not going to say anything. Okay, now let's come back to the dark. I'm doing the dark petunia pop. Like I say, I'm going to have a lot of blends out at my class so that people can choose if they want a different one. But what I am going to get, and I didn't, is I'm going to get a little daffodil, add one more color in here to put in the middle of these flowers. I think they'll just, you know, another color, just pop it up a little bit. And then I'm going to come through. Now, if I was making multiples of this card and I just colored right through that, so I'll come back in a minute, I, you know, might even do less coloring. Let me come and see if I can make that a little bit brighter again. Well, it's a little bit different, but that's okay. I'm going to see if I really cannot mess that up. See, I'm using the bigger end, and maybe I should be using the smaller end so I don't. Okay, I've got all the coloring finished. Now all I have to do is adhere. So I have this. I know I cut it out. I just have to find the other circle. Well, where did I put it? Don't you love when that happens? Well, I'm back, but I'm not all the way back. Basically, what I'm going to do is I have another, this is Timid Tiger. I have another circle. I'm going to glue these together and glue them on the front. I'm going to adhere this on the inside, and the last thing I'll do is pop this up. And I have these strawberry gems, and I thought, you know, some of the colors look kind of pretty with this, so I'll have the strawberry gems out for people to pick. Is that goofy or what? Where in the world did I put that? Probably fell on the floor. Well, at least you know what it looks like. Sorry about that. I'm back, but I'm not all the way back, you can see. So a fun card using a large stamp in the background and some circles, and it really pops with the coloring of the flowers. So I hope you give this card a try and have a great day.